Alrighty, we are here for another Q&A stream. Starting things off real exciting this morning. Gondor has been busy. So we're gonna see what kind of damage control we can do. But this is definitely an uphill battle. Not many people from Mordor active anymore. A lot of people call it quits. Welcome to the stream. Any questions, feel free to ask. We'll try and clear up whatever we can. Anything we don't know the answer to, we will find out together. It'll be an adventure. Not exactly sure how we are going to recover. Hopefully we can put up enough of a defense for Barracks here. I honestly don't know how many people we got left though. Yeah, it is, Estelle. I have really tried to stay positive over the last couple of weeks and been trying to rally whoever I can, but to be honest, Mordor has been pretty much lost since we moved out of Mordor. Once people split off and started going down south, doing their own thing, we lost our focus, we lost our teamwork, and at that point Mordor lost all strength that it had. I had been warning people about it, but apparently nobody took it seriously. Now, it is what it is. We've got a dedicated few left, trying our best, but it is not enough. Well, we're smaller now than we were, that's for sure. When we started, we were about the same size as you. I guess we were about the same size as Gondor, if I recall, with the amount of active players we had. But I mean, I think we're probably around the same number as Rohan for active players right now. Rohan could have more. Been nothing but negativity in the Mordor faction chat. Just infighting. Shoulda, woulda, couldas. Yeah. Gondor seems to have been able to recover from their defeat, though. Losing Ashen Plains to the dwarves, failing the defense of Minas Morgul against you guys. That just killed any hope that many people in Mordor had, it seems. They just gave up. Well, I'm still gonna be here fighting, trying to do what I can. Yeah, that always happens too. They say they're gonna quit, but they can't quit before letting out all their frustrations. I mean, like you said, yeah, you gotta respect it. It's probably been pent up for however long. But some of it does end up being unfair or thrown around unjustly. People just need something or someone to blame. I mean, I've taken responsibility for bad calls that I think I made, apologized for them, and tried to move forward. That's the problem with leadership, though, I guess. Not every decision you make is going to be the right one, And once you make the wrong one, well, then you're to blame, which is fine. There's a lot that people don't understand when they start throwing blame around. What was I thinking about doing here? Got these guys loaded up now. Alright. Anyway, enough about the negativity. It always happens near the end of the game. At least near the end of the betas. I've seen it on every server I've been on. This is meant to be a fun stream, so let's get back to that. We can still have some fun fights. I can still be a headache. Hmm. I gotta apologize for the extended silence, but Gondor's got me really thinking now. The wheels are turning, trying to figure out how I can try and turn this around. Without more people active, there's nothing we can do. That's just the unfortunate truth. Welcome to the stream. If you're a new viewer, welcome. Any questions about the game, feel free to ask. We'll try and answer whatever we can. If you are returning, welcome back. Always good to have you. God, I love this guy. Camul's probably going to get his butt kicked here, but we'll see. Let's just see what kind of damage we got from these. 156. 180,000. That one's nice. This one. Yeah, 65. Hey. Camul actually did a lot better than I thought he would. Oh boy. You guys are going for it? Oh my. Just wanting to take out those defenders. Yeah, I guess the criticisms laid at me for telling people to lay off Gondor when I did, probably valid. Just trying to put up whatever defense we can here at Barracks. Let them know I'm still here. I know Agzok and Grima do a pretty good job making their presence known. Really, Frosh? Now that's just disrespectful. Get out of here. I mean, it's bad enough we got maybe half a dozen players trying to make any kind of defense we can. At least let us have our goddamn settlements here to make that defense. That does make me salty. Yeah, no, that one I will admit right now, that's a dick move. I've said nothing about the fact that, you know, we're being pushed regardless of quitting players and things like that, because we're at that point of the game. I know it's going to happen. I accept that. But, like I said, we barely have a handful of players even able to put up a defense. And you're going to start hitting settlements to push us further away? No. I don't even think this guy's really active, so whatever. It would be a valid tactic, Estel, if we had, you know, enough of a force to actually do anything. But right now, like I said, we barely have maybe a dozen players even able to get people here to do anything. And he's going to try and stop whatever defense we might be able to muster. Screw that. My God, he's that close and it's still going to take him a full minute. Man, these guys are slow. Welcome to the stream, Alex. I believe you're a new face. Any questions, feel free to ask. We'll try and clear up what we can. See, this I don't understand. These just don't seem as effective as they should be against mounted units. Feels like they should have lost more than like 500 units. But, I don't know. That is one of the units that I've got noted down. That could use a rework in my opinion. Just doesn't quite seem as powerful as it should be. Yeah, that's exactly it, Alex. I mean, as soon as, you know, people feel like they've lost a fight, it just seems like it's really hard to gain positivity again. You know, if you start losing structures or losing regions, like you said, people just give up. It can make it really tough sometimes. You just do what you can. Let's do it the other way around. We'll give him the Alchemists, and give him the Crushers. Yeah, it definitely is. It just becomes a downward cycle at that point. Everything just gets harder and harder. As some people quit, the next defense gets harder, which makes more people quit, which just makes the next one harder. And you get to a point like this, where, like I said, we've got, I don't even know how many actives we have right now. People have even stopped talking or communicating. They pop on, do something, and then just leave. So, a lot of people switch to other servers. And, you know, like I said, early on, when I see that happening to factions, I do prefer to see people back off so that players come back and kind of get refreshed, so that you don't just have a single faction getting wiped out early and a whole, you know, base of players just leaving the game because they feel demotivated. But once you get to the end game like this, like I said, I mean, it's a little bit harder to justify backing off, because what else is there to do? The whole point is to be taking regions, taking capitals, and stuff like that. So Like I said, I understand what Gondor's doing. Yes, it's frustrating to some of the newer players that are experiencing it for the first time, but I think the other issue is the feeling of finality right now, where we know that the beta is going to end on August 24th. And so right now it feels like winning and losing, you know. It does feel final. If we lose our capital and lose Mordor by the 24th, well, then Mordor has lost. And that may be the case, and come live, that may be the case, but Season 2, that's where things are going to change. You know, the seasonal rollover, I really think, is going to do a lot to alleviate some of the issues that we experience right now in times like this. Because we don't have that same next round, I guess, to look forward to. So, like I said, people just feel like, well, that's it, that's done. We've only got 10 days left. What can we do? I don't know, to be honest. If Gondor was up for it, at this point, I would probably be okay with taking whatever actives Mordor had left and joining the good faction and seeing what we could do to push Isengard back. To be honest, that's been one of the biggest pieces of pushback that I've had from Mordor players, was a lot of people felt like we should not have been allied with Isengard. I had a lot of faith in them. Because I had played with a lot of those players, I really have a lot of trust in them. But I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I have not felt the alliance that we supposedly have. You know, they tried at one point to come in here, and a couple players tried to help us against the dwarves. But other than that, Isengard hasn't really done anything. They haven't really gone out of their way to try and help who they call an ally, when we have clearly been getting screwed for some time now and been struggling. So if that is the only option that Mordor has for survival now, I will say that I'm open to it. Because I don't want to see the rest of Mordor quit, which I know is what's going to happen if this keeps up. Yeah. So, I don't know, Estelle, if you want to toss that at your Gondorian buddies, see what they say. Maybe we can all spend the last 10 days or so just seeing how badly we can push back Isengard. Because, like, if Gondor was free to push Isengard over here, and we joined the dwarves in this area and pushed up in here, then at that point, everybody would be able to just start pushing west. So, we might even be able to take the ring from them if we all work together. Yeah, go away, Frosh. Get the hell out of here with your friggin' 15 or your 9 Ori. Really? Really? Come on. Sounds good, Estelle. You go ahead and talk with them. Like I said, I'm definitely open to it. I imagine I could probably talk the rest of Mordor into it if it meant our survival. So, I'd appreciate it. Like I said, I just don't want to see the rest of Mordor quit. We've put up as good a fight as we can. Welcome to the stream, or welcome back to the stream, whoever we have joining us now. Any questions, feel free to ask. We'll try and answer anything we can to the best of our abilities. Anything we don't know the answer to, we will find out together. It'll be an adventure. T-Waz, I hope you realize you can't, yeah, you won't be able to relo there, T-Waz. Hopefully we'll do it. Let's see if I can come save this guy. %, 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Maybe. Nope. Too late on that attempt. Oh man. I mean, it's been one heck of a server though. I've still gotta say that, you know, having this kind of a map state this late in the server is actually extremely rare. The fact that Rohan has come back a little bit and taken some more territory, and, you know, Isengard is being pushed back, dwarves are doing great. It's a much more even game state than I've seen on a lot of servers, to be honest. So it does give me hope that, you know, once all 4 evil factions are playable, this is going to be a very, very interesting experience. Oh my god, T-Waz, no. But okay. Yeah, I meant no disrespect, Frosh. Like I said, I've got my own frustrations starting to seep out a little bit. Like I said, I've been trying really hard to stay positive. Seeing that though and thinking you were coming for me, I was just kind of like, oh my god, come on, man. But hello. Once I realized it was a level 9 Ori, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. I imagine you heard what I was saying to Estelle then about, you know, us possibly joining the good factions against Isengard now for the last few days of the server, or the last like 10 days, 9 days, I don't know, week. Just because, I don't know, I'm hoping that would maybe reinvigorate some of the people that have quit, if they had hope that we weren't going to just get run over and that we could move forward. I don't know, maybe it would be too much to ask that we don't lose Barad-dûr, but I mean, that would be nice. I will say too, I mean, when I saw this and that's what I thought, it was a bit of a hurtful thing. It was like, oh my god, I thought Frosh liked me a little bit more than that. I thought we had a bit more better relationship. I'm glad I was right. You're one of the good ones, Frosh. Okay. This tile right here you can try, yeah. No. Was your birthday today, Estelle? Stupid Arwen. I don't like Arwen. She's mean. Hey, welcome to the stream. We jumped all the way up to 6. Any new viewers, welcome. Great to have you with us. Anyone returning, also great to have you back with us. Hey, screw Arwen. I don't even care that level 50 Faramir took me out. Any questions anyone has about the game, feel free to ask. We will answer whatever we can to the best of our abilities. Anything we don't know, we will find out together. It will be an adventure. Yeah, no, you get your ass kicked against that level 50 Faramir with the troops you got left, so let's bring you home. Bringing them on home. We've caused a decent commotion this morning, though. Sent a bunch of commanders packing. Come on, can we load you back up and send you in at anyone? Yeah, oof. I don't think so. We got 4 and 4. Yeah, this barracks is looking mighty sparse again. Mighty sparse. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I might be done for a little bit. Ouch. I don't think I've seen my barracks that low in probably a couple of weeks. I've been trying to keep it pretty healthy. Hour Apple timer. Now that's how you know you've had a good day, though. When you've got a 12-hour Apple timer, you know you've either been attacking a bunch or defending. Hopefully not defending a bunch, but at least you had the troops to push people back. That was a 12-hour Apple timer there, and then I had a 6-hour Apple timer earlier that I spent those gems on. So that's like 18 hours Apple time already this morning. That's a busy morning. Yeah, I come in, and within an hour of being online, I've gone through, well, I've got like 20 hours Apple time, but I dipped. This is a problem I created myself, though, I know that, because in the early days, I did have more time to dedicate to being online, and so I was generally online all day, every day, most of the day. So people kind of got used to me being around all the time, and then now that, life has gotten a little bit busier and I can't be on every single day for, the 8, 10, 12 hours that I was, all of a sudden I dipped. No, T-Waz, this is gonna stop you. Yeah, Yeah, I'll let him find out on his own. Some people gotta find out the hard way. It's unfortunate, but I tried to warn him. I did try and warn him. I mean, he's gonna be stuck because of my settlement right beside him and the mountain on this side. Can anyone confirm or deny whether the floating chat box is working on the stream? I've got one of those chat box things set up so that people can see the chat while watching the stream, but it doesn't seem to be coming up in my chat preview or my stream preview. So I'm not sure if it's working or not. I guess I could just go check my stream myself, but that would require me to go do stuff on my phone. Awesome, thank you, Estelle. That is good to know. Oh wait, yeah, I guess YouTube has its own floating chat, doesn't it? I hadn't thought about that. So, is it doubling up right now then? If so, I should probably disable the chat box that I put up. Alrighty, well, I will... No, it's only... Okay, awesome. As long as there's only one, then. Oh, dang, I only got... less than 1,000 Reapers left. That's not good. I like those guys. So, I guess if I'm... Oh boy, I can't even fill Grima. Wow! Wait. Okay. I'm waiting. Aha, okay. So that should have removed it. Alright, yeah, I'm not sure how that chat box thing is supposed to work then. I will just let YouTube handle it with their floating chat thingamajig. They seem to know what they're doing. Yeah, as I said, I think I have done about as much damage as I can do, at least for the next few hours. I don't even have enough troops to fill Grima. Can I fill Exoc maybe? He does more damage anyway. Let's see what I can do. Well, we can get close. Yeah, best we can do is get close. Alright, where do we want to send Exoc? I don't think I've met this guy yet. Let's go say hi. A wild Pokemon has appeared. Yeah, I guess we're just waiting, aren't we? Don't have enough for... Nice, we do. Sweet. $14,000. Alrighty. Let's toss all of you back over. You did scare me though, Frosh. So, getting these battlements upgraded finally. Yes, Frosh. I see that now. I am nothing if not loyal. So Isengard and us had arranged to be allied. I had faith in it. But it seems my faith was misplaced. Hello again, Shnola. Welcome back. It's never too late for battlements, Estelle, especially now with the Bowman Tower. Swoosh in the music. So many forts going up. Oh, I gotta make it here. How can I get here real quick? Oh, I don't have enough. God dang it, Estelle. You just had to time it for now, didn't you? I don't have the troops to come after you. So, in the last couple of streams, I have been trying to subtly plant the seed that at some point in the near future here, I am going to need to transition to at least another game or other games until this one launches live. I don't really play any other games of this style, so it may be a bit of an abrupt change, but I've been preparing some overlays and whatnot and trying to get prepared to stream either Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering if there are any fans of either of those games here. If there's anyone that has been interested about those games but doesn't know how to play, I can do Q&As about those as well, help teach people the ropes. I've been playing Magic the Gathering since I was, god dang, I'm old. Well, and I've indulged in maybe a little too much recreational amnesia, so that affects the memory. But it's been a while. Anyone that's played Magic, Ice Age is the first set I really remember, so that can give you a gauge. They may not be the same kind of strategy game as this, but they are in themselves quite in-depth strategy games. Oh my god, what a hard counter to... Holy crap. What the heck? Oh, was it his disarm? What the hell happened here? Huh? That makes zero sense. Where did all his damage go? He doesn't have stuns. He didn't have the disarm. Yeah, this one, I mean, there's only a 3-level difference. That makes zero sense to me. At all. Oh, Alex. You're Athelian? I'll admit, man, you got a nice looking Boro here, but I have no idea how this played out like this. You don't have any troops that are hard countering anything that I've got. You don't have the defensive stance to drop damage, which, like that 500% damage reduction, I would have understood. You don't have any stuns. This would have, yeah, gotten you out of 2 instances. Is that where all of his damage comes from? Does all of Agzok's damage come from... No. Yeah. As you can see, like this is one where I've got to dive right into the report here to try and make sense of something, because this doesn't add up. Shadow of the Mist. So there's one instance of avoidance granted. Yeah, so there's one instance of avoidance gone from the Swan Knight. The Swan Knight's already lost all of his... Huh. I know I had a Shagrat report, I don't know, a week or so ago that did this same thing to me, where the numbers in the report just made 0 sense. How does he go from like 200,000, you know, doing anywhere from 150 to 200,000 commander damage, to 30,000? Huh. Yeah, not a problem, Robert. Welcome to the stream. Any of the videos that help, I'm glad about that. Anything I can clear up, feel free to ask. We do still have, we got 9 days. It's the 15th. We've still got 9 days to try and figure out, you know, the little things that are going to make it easier come launch. Oh man, getting the short end again with the slow marches. That's really made me appreciate the speed again. And so I know I've kept saying that Mordor and dwarves are my likely factions come launch, but man, I'm really tempted to take something that uses mounted units as more of a focus, just because the fast marches are really important. Gondor, Rohan for the good side, elves even, just because they make so much use out of the mounted units. Angmar's probably going to be pretty strong for the evil faction. The Fallen looks like a really good unit. If Rune gets a rework, they could be really strong. The War Chariot seems pretty good. But right now, the Spearmen and the Dragoons, I don't feel like they're strong enough. Where was that, Shnola? Oh, did you move up into here? In the Hills of Rune? Or do you mean on server 5? Yes, Mordor is in a very bad spot right now. We've unfortunately just lost too many of our members. Too many of our actives have quit to be able to put up a proper defense anymore. So the ones of us that are left are doing what we can, trying to put up some kind of fight. But it is an uphill battle. And that hill is almost a sheer cliff. Alright, well, since there's really nothing going on here for me at the moment, I've got timers, just waiting to finish up. I don't have any troops to do any more damage with here. I think I'm going to take a quick little smoke and bio break. And then when I come back, I will switch back over to server 5, Shnola, and continue the Zero to Hero series that I'm doing with the dwarf over there. So we will switch over to our intermission, or be right back here. And we will return in about 5-10 minutes. Oh, just 1 second. And no, you're not old again. Sorry for the late comment. Yes, I've got Frosh. I've got both Magic Online, like the OG Magic Online client, and I also have Magic Arena. Just because I feel like for streaming, Magic Arena is probably a better interface for people to look at and understand, especially if I'm going to try and do like Q&As to teach people how to play. But I do have the original Magic Online client, just because I've got a few decks over there that I have some fun with. Not a huge collection on there. My collection is mainly paper, but it's good to know that there is at least one other Magic the Gathering player in this community. It is a great game. I will return in about 5 to 10 minutes. Just going to take, as I said, a quick smoke and bio break, and we will return. Thank you very much. And we are back. All right. Oh, I already had the game sound muted. Haha. All right then. We will back out of here. Back into the server 5 we go. We'll see how our little dwarf friend is doing. Alright, now that we are back in here, we can turn this back on. Chest we can open. All right. All right, so where are we at here? We need more 30 power tiles. Hello. Unfortunately, I don't speak Russian myself. Welcome to the stream. Regardless. I guess it'll be a little difficult for me to answer questions that you might have. I can try my best, though. What was I looking at here? Okay, I got some Matham coins. Let's just go cash these in. There we go. Get that taken care of. Fill up Mr. Dwaylen here. That's okay. You are welcome to join. I appreciate all the viewers that I get. I just may not be quite as helpful for you as I can be to others. As I said, I will try. Who games? Who games? Who games? This is Lord of the Rings, Rise to War. Don't know if that helps. The Lord of the Rings, Rise to War. This is a beta right now. This beta is ending on August 24th. The live version of the game is hoping to launch later this year, from what we hear. could change, though. Go Samp. That one's got me lost. Level 4 main hall, and I can get that. Alright. Let's just speed it up with gems. I don't need the gems for much else in this one. Yeah, sorry about that. That one I can't. Need more context clues. Hello again, Lawrence. Welcome back to the stream. I see Gondor was busy. Me. You're 10 years old. All right then. Well, congratulations on successfully navigating your first 10 years of life. Good luck in the next however many you manage. Well, if you are 10 years old and this is your first exposure to Lord of the Rings, it's a fantasy series set in Middle-earth. It's quite an intriguing series. You might actually find it interesting. There are a few movies you can watch. There are some books you can read. That would be my suggestion. Books are generally the way to go. Oh, I do play the other account. I was on there just this morning, actually, doing whatever I could to thin your ranks. My barracks, by the time I logged off there, my barracks was at less than 300 command points, I think. I didn't even have enough troops to field a commander. All my timers are going. There's really nothing I can do over there for at least a few hours. So I figured for the time being, I might as well come back over to the Zero to Hero account and continue on here so I can still do an effective Q&A for people that do have questions about this game. My my son has gone back to his mom's, at least for the time being. So I've got a bit more time to stream again, a bit more often, so I may get another stream in later on once my timers are finished up. Or I may just continue streaming today. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, it's understandable. Now, I will say this, Lawrence, this may reinvigorate you. I'm at the point on that server that I have finally given in. I'm pretty displeased with the alliance that we had with Isengard. I don't feel like it's paid off for us. So I've put it out to Estelle earlier that if the good factions are willing to have us, I would try and convince Mordor to work with the good factions now for the last 9 days and see what we could all do to push Isengard back. So, like I said, if that interests you, I don't know if that would reinvigorate your spirits, but I think that's the only option Mordor has to keep whatever players we still have. If things keep going the way they are over there, we're going to lose the rest of the active players we've got, and even people like you are going to start quitting because, like you said, what's the point? You're clearly winning, on the path that you are, so. In the last couple of weeks of a server like this, these are the decisions that start getting made. If I burn all my bridges in Isengard, so be it. I've created a bunch of new bridges with the people I've met, so. I still disagree, Lawrence. I honestly don't see it as pay to win at all. Yeah. Just because the things that actually matter in a fight, you can't pay for. You can't pay for your troops. You can't pay for your forts. You know, those are the things that really allow you to gain ground. Having to wait for troops to conscript once you've gone through them all, and having to wait 2 hours to build a fort to move forward, it leaves you vulnerable for that period of time. And, there's nothing, no amount of commanders at whatever level are going to help you at that point if you don't have troops or forts to, have the commanders out there doing what they need to do. That's the main reason that I've said it's not pay to win. It's just because those aspects have still been kept in check. I mean, look at me. I've spent some money and I've got a bunch of commanders, but I've only got 3, I think, above level 40. At least on server 4 there. they could Shnola, but I honestly don't think they're going to. I think they understand what aspects of the game need to remain out of reach in that sense. I mean, the closest thing, the one aspect that they have that is kind of pay to win, in my opinion, but it's not even pay to win, is when they changed the commander skills to be tied to respect levels. That does hurt. Because with especially the tier 3 commanders, yeah, it kind of is pay to win for them. You know, if I'll just find somebody here to use as an example. Oh yeah, like Galadriel. There's some people using her now. But if you want this monster of a focus damage machine and healer, well, unfortunately, you've got to pay for it. Because Respect 5, she gets some crazy healing. And Respect 3, she's got this additional one. She's only got 1 heal at Respect 1. So it's still good, but honestly, at Respect 1, she's not as powerful as she is supposed to be. Radagast is actually a great example, where if you only have a Radagast at Respect 1, he's kind of useless. If you can get him to Respect 3, so that the healing recovered gets increased by, or the healing received is increased by 30%, well, then all of a sudden he becomes a bit more useful. If you can get him to Respect 5, wow, he becomes crazy. So that one, I do think they made the wrong decision. They need to revert that back to skills being tied to commander level as opposed to respect level. Yeah, Shnola, I do agree with you there. I mean, they've got to make money, but as I've said to other people when I've had this discussion, it's not like they're not making money right now. You know, they're making tons of money. People are still paying for the commanders. They're still paying for those respect levels. They're still paying for gems to speed up, you know, not conscription costs, building upgrades or apothecary heals, things like that. People are putting money into this game. So they need to understand, which I think they do, that there's a limit. If they go too far, they're going to kill the game and they won't make any money. If they want to continue to make money with the game, they've got to know where that limit is, and I think they're pretty close to it. If they do make that decision and all of a sudden you can start paying for troop conscriptions and you can start paying for instant forts and paying for instant relocations or weird things like that, at that point, yeah, the game's going to die. Nobody's going to bother playing a game like that because you will not have a chance against the whales. But right now, they've made it very easy for free-to-play players to at least stand a chance. You're not dead in the water if you don't spend anything in this game. I personally know there's at least one player that, like I said, I know of that has put over $10,000 just into this beta. And that's not including what he put in last beta. So, sure, that's not a ton of money in terms of a corporation, but say you've got 100 players that have all put in $10,000, that starts to add up. there you go. Great example right there. Estell's a free-to-play player, and look at the damage they're able to do on server 4 with Gondor. It's not because they've paid anything, it's because of teamwork and coordination and playing the game in an intelligent way. You know, I'm not saying that people are unintelligent if they can't do the same thing, but I just mean understanding the mechanics, the units, the skills, and how to really make the best use out of all of that. I've said it before and I will say it again, troop compositions are more important in this game than anything else in my opinion. You can have the highest level commander with better skills and whatever. If you send the wrong troops into the fight, you're not going to do very well. It just does not matter. If they've got a relative commander level, you know, within 10 commander levels, it could be a tough fight. But within those same 10 commander levels, if you send in a lower level commander with the proper troop counter, you can win higher level fights. Or at least pull off draws. Yeah, okay, I'm just waiting to do this, that's right. Just continuing along the scroll path to just keep up progress. That's the only way to do it. One commander to level 10, that's what I need to be doing. Alright, so you are at level 9. Almost there. Do I not have any of them conscripting? I don't. Okay. Oh, I don't have the hunter range. That's... Alright. Oh wow, yeah, they're way down here. I need a level 8 main hall before I even start getting them. Okay. Speed this up now. Get this started. Needs level 5. Needs level 5 main hall. That needs a level 8 barracks. Alright. Level 7 conscription post. Level 4 ore tribute. Let's get that started. Alrighty. We got things on the move here. Let's just send these guys home and re-troop them. Redo their troops. Yes, forts. I know how to do forts. On a tile you own. Click build. You can rename your fort here. You cannot rename them once they're built. They still need to make that change. 12,000 gold, 5,000 wood and iron, and 10,000 stone. Takes 2 hours, and each fort has its own movement range circle, just like your settlement does. That is how you expand your territory. You would come out to the edge of your movement circle, like so. An easy way to do it as well when you're starting off, if you haven't gotten this far yet, Shnola, is a lot of the times I would come to the edge of my circle and I would start looking for either blue or purple tiles that other people owned. And that would be a nice, quick, easy way, like something like this. So I could send Theoden, and if I wanted to maximize my range, I could actually send Theoden right over here to take this tile. Screw it, I'll just do it as an example for fort building. It's not going to help me because I'm not moving north, but whatever. It's a good example. Rather than having to make my own path all the way up here, I just use their tiles. Level 4 grain tribute. Alrighty then. Indeed. Troop stats, troop abilities, they make more of a difference in battle a lot of the times than commander stats or commander abilities, with some exceptions. Obviously things like stuns, madness, all of that, that's kind of got, you know, its own impact on battle. But again, if you go in with the wrong troops, the fight's lost to begin with. Sometimes you don't have much of a choice. I mean, as Mordor, you know, yeah, we knew that we were going to be facing a lot of anti-troll builds, but we still had to make use of our trolls to some extent. So at that point, it's, you know, an acceptable loss, but we just had to try and mitigate the damage however we could. What do I think will be the 4 camp of evil factions? Well, like the 4 evil factions are going to be Angmar, Rune, Mordor, and Isengard. So, whoop. So, Angmar is going to have Carndum as their capital. Rune is going to have Kineland as their capital. Mordor has Barad-dûr, and Isengard is going to have Orthanc. Is that what you were asking, Lawrence? I feel like I was misunderstanding the question. Oh, camps like Fell Beasts. So, if they don't add anything else, then the ones I had in my video are gonna be it. We've got, are they Barrow Whites? I don't know. I know there was some over here. Actually, Lawrence, we Because we have what? We have Fell Beasts, we have Mumakills, Barrow Wights, and we do have access, apparently, to the Oathbreakers. Yeah, Barrow Wights, Mumakills, Fell Beasts. And like I said, we can recruit Oathbreakers, so I don't know if that's considered our fourth. But yeah, I do think the evil factions need something at the level 35 range that's better than Barrow Wights, because Barrow Wights are terrible. I would never actually bother going after them. But like Fell Beasts and Mumakills are both level 50s, so they can't really be taken early, and we don't have anything else to really go for. So I would like to see them add something else. I don't know what they would add. Yeah, it is really stupid that we can get Oathbreakers. To me, it goes completely against the idea of Oathbreakers in the lore. Like, the whole reason they're suffering from their curse is because they betrayed Isildur and allowed Sauron to, you know, gain power. So why would they ever ally with the dark forces that are, in essence, holding them, you know, in their curse? It makes no sense to me in terms of lore, but it's just another one of the logical inconsistencies that this game does suffer from. So there are certain small things like that definitely need to be addressed. Again, the fact that Ents are not considered large units is always going to bug me. Like, just know a troll is bigger than a giant walking tree. My brain hurts when I try and think about that. Now, when I try and think about what other special unit they could add for evil factions, I mean, you'd have to kind of dig into the lore if you wanted something that made sense. Yeah, I don't know, maybe like the what were they called in the, I can't even remember the name of them, but like the Mountain Men kind of thing. The ones that sacked Rohan in the movies. That Sauron went, and they were all the Grizzly Adams looking bunch. You could get something like them in as like an equivalent to hobbits, in a sense. A lower level special unit that, I don't know, maybe does something kind of like Corsairs. Or maybe has a ranged unit. I know there's been a lot of people in Mordor want another ranged unit. We do have two, but I think a mounted ranged unit would be good. That I think would be interesting to see. But I think they're trying to stick so much to the lore that when they look for things like units, they do want it to make some kind of sense. Yeah, we'll just get it to 30. Where's the 30? No 30. Buggers. 30. They might, but I'm not holding out hope that they do. Although they did add, I know Radagast was new this beta. Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah. Yeah, it's not like they don't have characters to choose from that they could add. It just depends on how they want to treat the lore. Right now, I feel like they're a little bit disjointed on what they want, how they want to handle it. You know, the setting of the game seems to be set at one period in Middle-earth, yet the setting of characters that we have available completely disregard events that led up to this point. So it's hard to say, because you can't really say what they're using to limit themselves in terms of who they bring in and who they don't. Yeah, I've got them on the PS4, and I think what was it, the second one, Shadow of War. I started to get into that a little while back, and I think I got into that, to be honest, while I was waiting for this beta to kick off. So maybe that'll be one that I stream when this beta ends. I can get the PlayStation streaming and at least have one game that's still Lord of the Rings to keep some of the audience with me. Won't be so abrupt a change. So I still haven't gotten into those ones enough. I know that there's a lot more that they have to offer. They feel like really in-depth, interesting games. I was playing through it kind of quickly, so I don't have a great handle still on like setting up my army and how I can best make use of all of that aspect of it. Alright, so back to the tile that I took at the edge of my circle here. You would just come in, hit build, and hey, you can include spaces. Hey, a fort. And then in 2 hours, that fort would be done, and I would have a new circle expanding my movement range. Again, this one's kind of useless because I don't really need to move north, but that is beside the point. We still got 2 minutes. Come on, Dwaylen. Getting moving. I want to see you hit level 10. Complete this chapter. Yeah, I'm really feeling this, whatever this song is. What's this? Let's see here. Aqua Marina by Stream Beats by Harris Heller. This is a good one. I like this one. Oh, and it ended. Alright. Well, Aqua Marina, that's a good one. I haven't mentioned that on the stream in a while, but I do think what Harris Heller and those guys over at Stream Beats have done is amazing. Putting out all this kind of just background tunes for free for people to use in their streams and videos is friggin' amazing. Anyone looking to get into streaming or content creation on a platform like YouTube would probably benefit from checking out Harris Heller's videos. The Alpha Gaming YouTube channel, Harris Heller YouTube channel, I think he changed the name, but I'm sure if you searched Harris Heller, he'd be pretty easy to find. Definitely a lot of good information. Which Boromir is better used? Skill for attack or for defense? Yeah, right now I can't really comment on Boromir Shinola because that last one, I have no idea what went on with that fight. When I looked at his skills, I cannot explain to you how he was able to kick the crap out of me that bad. That one leaves me baffled. The Warden skill that gives you the avoidance for the first 2 instances of damage, that is pretty much an agreed upon, guaranteed take. I usually went with his air build. Yeah, I forgot that I'm on the good side, so I can come in here and take a look at him. Yeah, I personally went down here and maxed out on server 1. I maxed out air, nobility. I didn't go for gallant right away, but yeah, warden, that one is huge. He went with his Boromir had warden, collaboration, and defensive stance. I think all of these were maxed. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's what it was. That's what it was, I think. Defensive stance. I need to go back and check the report. But yeah, I think I saw that his was at minus 20% or something like that, modified by might, and his might was like 239. Okay, that might have been what did it for him. But yeah, it depends on the respect level that you have, Shinola, for your Boromir. If you've got him at respect level 1, I would suggest going air, and you can go into a high warden of the White Tower to get disarm. This reduces the attack damage by 500%, which is huge. If you end up getting him to respect 3, which you should, go for warden. I have seen some higher level respect 5 Gondors using the Horn of Gondor as well, generally in place of air. I find warden is always taken just because those first 2 instances of avoidance come in handy a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna have to keep in mind when I go back over. My eyes are scary because of the light. I've got blue eyes. I wonder if I've got the blue screen setting so that it's like my eyes are gone, basically. I don't know how I can fix that. Webcam, filters. Similarity? Is that what I need to? Alright. Well, I've brought this down a little bit. I'm hoping maybe that will help. Well, maybe I'll just try not to look in the camera then. Sorry about that. Don't want to be scaring people. Alright, is Dwaylen gonna get this done? Oh, really? A single unit? There was a single unit remaining. Holy crap. Did you come up with that spreadsheet yourself, Lawrence? The third row for Northern, I believe, is just Raiders again. I think they're the ones that share the scout layer with Mordor right now, which is a bad idea. They need a unique unit. Nope, you didn't make it there yet. All right. And this one guy still took out, like, what, 13 of these dudes? How in the hell? That's crazy. Now we'll conscript you. Alright, what else are we going with? Level 7 conscription post. Can we do... Nope, we need level 5. We need level 5. Need level 6. Alright, yeah, I guess we're just trucking along then. Need level 7. So yeah, we'll just go with... Oh wait, no, I know what we'll do. Shortcut this. Because we're going to need these at level 4. For the barracks, I think. After we hit level 7, I think we'll need these for level 8. Oh yeah, I gotta get the market too. Alright. Do that after the lumber tribute. Get him some XP. Those levels. I forgot to grab a water on the way back up. So then, Lawrence, if you're not playing on your server 4 account anymore, are you still playing on a different server, or have you just given the game up for now until it launches live? Oh, we're getting close. Alright. Ah. Are you enjoying any other games in the meantime? Or just getting caught up with life? Yeah. Hence the getting caught up with life comment. Oh, excuse me. Ow. That one came out of nowhere. That is the one kind of downside that I will say about this game, is that, you know, if you're somebody who gets invested in it, then it can feel like you need to dedicate a decent amount of time to it in order to stay caught up, in order to, you know, stay on top of developments on the map, being able to react to attacks or defense as needed. You know, it's hard sometimes to be a player that just jumps on for an hour or two a day. But it's also hard to maintain that kind of schedule, you know, like a 6-hour kind of schedule, if, you know, you've got responsibilities that you've got to attend to. Because life does have to come first. Yeah, that's not the login one. This is the community stuff. I'm just not going to bother with it on this account. I don't need the gems that badly. This is just telling me about the settings, which I already know about, so. Flojo, how's it going? Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Where I'm at right now with Mordor is that I have given in, and if the good factions will have us, I'm definitely willing to have Mordor join with the good factions and see what we can do to push Isengard back, just because I don't want to see the rest of Mordor quit. I mean, we tried as best we could, Flojo. There was a dedicated few of us that did keep trying to organize and rally whatever defense we could, but we've just lost too many players, unfortunately. We've got too many inactives now. You no need connect, you go in and... Yeah, I know, but like I said, Shinola, I don't actually need the gems that badly. If that's bugging you, I mean, I guess I'll do it just to clear the dots. There we go. No more red dots. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Flojo, I'm still really proud of everything Mordor was able to accomplish. You know, just the defense of the Black Gate alone against the elves, I honestly think that was our shining moment. If nothing else, we can all be proud of that. That was a flawless defense. They didn't even take a single hit point off the gate in that entire siege. So, you know, that was Mordor at its finest right there. We had everybody, I think we had just about every active player at the Black Gate for that defense. That's what Mordor was able to do when we worked together. So like I said, I am still really proud of what we were able to accomplish. Being able to hold minus Morgul and the Black Gate for as long as we did. We did well. I definitely think anyone in Mordor that participated in any of that stuff can hold their heads high. Yeah, the elves, well, they got, I mean, if you really look back, though, they got thrown for a real loop early on. I mean, they had Cowrie and Timon decide to charge down to the Black Gate for some reason. They had Isengard take Rivendell. Then Isengard started threatening their second capital. Dwarves started threatening their third capital. So, to me, it's completely understandable that the rest of the elves looked at the Black Gate and just said, no, we have no interest in that because we're going to lose everything we have. And at that point, they became so invested in the fight up there that they couldn't really afford to then send troops back down to come after us. There was no benefit for them at that point. They were busy enough with Isengard. Oh. Oh, well, hello, Headless Horseman. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Well, yeah, the dwarves, they were smart. They played it nice and quiet. In the early game, they let everybody else fight, and the dwarves just spent their time getting strong, getting their 50s. And we definitely felt that once we started fighting the dwarves. Oh, Headless Horseman is from S4, and he's in the stream. Huh. Let's see. Who do I think Headless Horseman is? I'm gonna say you're Flojo, Headless Horseman. That's my guess. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were only really fighting one dwarven fell. Well, I mean, saying that, I would guess that you're Heisen. Yes, that's right. Flojo, I apologize there. You're James. I knew that. But yeah, if Headless Horseman, if you're saying elf, then that would make me think Heisen. Oh gosh, now you're confusing me. I mean, just because you're in the stream, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean you're in chat, so. No, I think you got me stumped. What do we do? Oh, we gotta gather. Okay. See, I get into the questions and whatnot, and then I forget what I was actually doing here. It's like, oh yeah, now let's gather with you, because we're gonna use you to do stuff. I need one more 30 power tile. Alright then. Yeah, like this is server 5 right here, James. I'm just here. This is just like a what's being called a 0 to hero kind of thing. I just started a brand new account just to kind of show how I play through the early days, some of the shortcuts I use, you know, the path I take on my ring early on. Stuff like that. I'm going to do a more in-depth and official series of this sort once the game launches. But I figured this would be a good little rough draft for myself to get the idea, as well as just a good little mini-series, I guess, for anyone that joined late and does still have issues or questions about how they should maybe go through the early days. I do still go on to the Mordor account. I was on there early this morning, trying to do whatever I could against Gondor. I blew through all my troops, got all my timers going, and now it's just a waiting game over there, so. Yeah, there's a number of people that create multiple accounts on different servers, whether they just want to try out other factions, whether they want to start those accounts as spies. There's different reasons, but it's easy to do. Sometimes you just don't like the server that you end up in and just want to make a change. That's why anyone looking to spend any money in this game, I would suggest that you kind of wait until you know that you're going to like the server you're on. Because the worst thing, one of the worst feelings, is feeling locked into your server because you've spent some money on it when you don't like the people you're playing with, you don't like the faction that you're in, you know. There can be a lot of reasons you don't like the server you're on, but feeling like you can't switch because you've invested any amount of money in it is a pretty bad feeling. So I would usually suggest, you know, aside from things like maybe buying the commander that's offered, Aragorn or Camul, little things like that, if you want to throw a couple of bucks at it just to get a bit of a head start, alright. But I wouldn't go buying any of the big gem packs or season pass or anything like that until you're pretty certain you're going to be spending most of your time on that server. I don't really agree with that, Shnola. I think it works pretty well the way it is. I would like them to bring back, rather than the stamina potion that we have now that gives you 60 stamina for one commander per 24 hours, I would rather them bring back the stamina thing that we had last beta that did just that, Shnola, where for a certain amount of time, I think you could get either a 1 hour, a 3 hour, an 8 hour, or a 24 hour, you would reduce your commander's stamina costs in half for that length of time. That was a great purchase. I can't remember, it was gems that you needed to buy it with. And yeah, it was worth it every time. If you were going into a big war or a big defense, you know, it was great being able to double up on your actions. But I don't think it needs to be a permanent thing. I honestly think the way they had it set up in the last beta worked the best, where it's 20 actions for your, or 20 points for your base actions, but then you've got that stamina reduction item that you can buy to reduce it for a certain length of time. Yeah, those will only go to whatever server you accept them on. So, for example, if you go into server 1 with that account and open those 216,000 gems, they get locked to that server. You can see here that... Oh crap, I forgot this makes the game crash, doesn't it? Yep. Alright, nice. I'm gonna catch that before it starts. I always forget that that makes the game freaking crash, so I'm trying to do it on PC. But yes, gems, as far as I know, are locked to whatever server they're purchased on or whatever server they're received on, in the case of the bonuses. Alright, now that we're back in, I can unmute the game again. Hey, welcome back, Rhino. Good to have you in the chat. Rhino, I was hoping to be able to talk to you at some point. If you check back in the stream, you'll probably see that I am finally in agreement with you. And I do apologize for holding out the alliance with Isengard as long as I did. I honestly had more faith and trust in them that, they'd give us a bit more help. But no, it didn't pan out for us. It really didn't benefit us. And now we're suffering because of it. So I am at the point where if the good factions will have us, whatever actives are left in Mordor, I would be willing to have us join the good factions and see just how much we can push back Isengard in the last 9 days. Because I don't like seeing all the people in Mordor so down in the dumps. I'd like to see us have one last hurrah. One last good fight as Mordor. What am I doing here? Trying to take tiles. Trying to take tiles. I need one more. Treatment limit reached. Oh my god, I got such a small apothecary. Yeah, 10 command points in this apothecary. That's funny. You can do it, Dwaylen. I believe in you, man. Come on. Take that tile so we can finish this chapter. "15 seconds. You can do it, Dwaylen. I believe in you. You got this, man." Dwaylen. Yeah, no problem. She's more important than I am. Insufficient. What? Oh, I've already got 2 things going. Fine then. As long as you heard what I said, that's all that matters. Basically boils down to I'm on board with what you've been wanting for a while now. Yeah, no problem, man. I mean, you know, that's one of the problems I find, you know, if with the dedicated players, the ones that do invest the time, one of the risks in doing that is burnout. You know, if you spend 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day playing this game for, I mean, I'm into my 2nd month, and it's only been in this last couple of weeks that my time in this game has really started to lessen a little bit because life started to pick up for me as well. But burnout is definitely a thing. If, you know, you've put so much into this and then all of a sudden everything just starts to fall apart, it can be really hard to keep to stay optimistic and to stay motivated. So I don't blame you. I definitely don't blame you. Yeah, I'm very sorry to hear that, Rhino. And you know, if the stresses of the game were interfering with life and adding to your stresses in life, then, you know, making the call to drop the game is definitely the better one. I wouldn't want to see this compromise, you know, anything in anyone's actual life. So it was a frustrating, it's been a frustrating couple of weeks for Mordor, you know. Yeah, there's a lot that could have been done differently, but hey, I think most of us, I think, have gotten it out of our system now and are at this point where it's like, hey, what happened happened. Come live, we can try and take what we've learned and move forward. I'm just glad to see it didn't damage our relationship in any permanent way, Rhino. I was sad to see you leave. You were one of the members that I felt, you know, I always knew I felt a little safer when you were on board. Yeah, it's, like I said, I don't blame you. I really don't. Even if I may have made some comments in-game that seem otherwise, those are my own personal frustrations coming out. You know, I completely understand why people have been feeling the way they have. It's tough. But as I was saying earlier too, we can all... Ah, okay. Gotcha. And as I was saying to James just a little bit ago, you know, we can still all hold our heads high in Mordor for what we did accomplish before this all happened. You know, just that defense that we pulled at the Black Gate, just that defense alone was impressive. I don't care what anybody else says, what the state of Mordor looks like now. Like, those elves didn't know what hit them when we finished with them after that. So I was so proud of everybody involved in the defense of the Black Gate, as well as clearing the elves out when we did. As I said, I think that was our shining moment of glory. That was Mordor at its strongest right there. And it was great. Yeah, the player count. I mean, I will say that player count plays a huge role in this game. You know, factions that just have low populations have a much harder time getting the same kind of progress as other factions. And there's many reasons for that. I don't even think some people fully understand the advantage to a large population. It snowballs so many things, especially if a faction with a low population also has to spend any of their early days fighting with another faction. They're pretty well screwed, because you have to use those early days to gain power, gain resource production, gain levels for commanders. And if you have to focus your efforts on attacking and defending against another faction, you're not making that kind of progress. Factions that have large populations, they have the luxury of being able to have, say, one team go out and start attacking borders to increase their lands, while another team basically just sits back and takes tiles and gains commander levels. And then after a certain point, those teams switch out, and the other guys then go start building their commander levels and taking tiles and increasing their resource production. And you can only afford to do both if you have a large population. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what kind of roles are going to be necessary, so that, because I will admit, one issue that I had is not delegating enough in this server. I tried to take too much on myself, I think, and I became the only point of contact for people when they had questions about what we were doing moving forward. For a while you were with me, and I was able to I started trying to relay information to you to help with that, but I still wasn't doing enough. I needed to be letting more people know what the plans were, so that I knew that if I wasn't online, things were still getting communicated to people. So that's something that I'm going to try and improve for next time, is making sure I know what officers I need, what their responsibilities are going to be, and making sure that I put people in place that understand those responsibilities themselves. I think I'm also going to need to find, if we're going to have an actual Discord server, I'm going to need to find a Discord manager or Discord officer or something, because I just don't understand Discord enough to kind of run it. Yeah, it is. I realize now I bit off more than I could chew. But I will also admit, hey, I'm human, and pride kind of got in the way, and I thought I could do it. Yes. And I'm trying to figure out, you might be able to help me with this one, Rhino. Do you think it would be better to try and get North American warbands and European warbands set up separately to avoid the time zone issues that we ran into? Either that, or have separate teams within the warband. So if a warband is going to accept people from all over the world, try and group people into, you know, like time zones for teams, so that coordination of attacks can be set up easier that way. You can just say team A, go attack this at whatever time, team B. Yeah. And that, I'll admit, I was unprepared for that, just because I didn't understand just how many regions were getting added to the game when the evil factions did. The amount of time zones we had to try and juggle. Yeah. We'll be able to figure something out. At least now we know that it's an issue that needs to be addressed. Because yeah, that I saw as one of the biggest issues, was just trying to juggle the time zones. That is so hard. We need to upgrade the barracks. Let's see if we can do that yet. Yes, we can. 35 minutes. Now, friggin' market's gonna take 3 more minutes. Crazy. What am I doing? Yeah, I think I might actually make the... I think I might have been talking about the idea on the last stream. But I might actually go put it in the suggestions officially. Something like raid teams from, you know, anyone that's played, you know, like a World of Warcraft. Where you can set up actual raid teams of different people. I don't know how they would set it up, but if we could even do something like that to have a certain number of teams that are going to attack a structure, and, you know, people from like time zones can assign themselves or be assigned to certain teams. Just because there just needs to be a way to keep track of who is attacking or who is available to attack at what times. And right now, the only way to do it would just be to try and ask every single person what time zone they're in and spreadsheet everything. Which I tried doing early, but I couldn't get answers from everybody. Well, that is good to know, Rhino. I was kind of worried about that. I started to feel like it was my leadership and decisions that I was making that were making people quit. And it was getting a little hard for me. So I appreciate you saying that. And like I said, yeah, I completely understand where you're at there. I've felt the same, even on that same server. It's hard for me to keep going, knowing how little we have left to fight back with. But yeah, okay, that actually might work if you set like a time zone in the warband description. That way people know when they're applying, they have an idea. That's probably at least a good place to start. I'm going to keep that in mind for sure. To anyone else that's just joined us, welcome to the stream. If you're a new viewer here, feel free to ask any questions you may have. We'll try and answer them to the best of our abilities. If you are returning, welcome back. We're just continuing the Zero to Hero series here with our little dwarf friend. We got our barracks going here. Just trying to continue the chapters. Exactly. We had to try something, and, you know, yeah. Yeah, I think you're on the right path. That kind of idea would definitely help keep things organized. Oh, well, good to know that you're still with us then, Shnola. If I've been skipping over anything, or if there's anything that I've done that you'd like me to explain further or in more detail, don't hesitate to ask. I know sometimes I can kind of forget what I'm even doing and just go a little fast, but again, I am always willing to try and back up and cover whatever I gloss over. Because at the moment, like I said, I'm basically just focusing on completing these as fast as I can. Again, it is kind of the fastest way to guarantee progress. They lead you through all your building upgrades in order to get your different troops and things like that. Yeah, that I do agree with that as well. I've been trying to figure out how to word something like that in the game suggestions, but right now the officers, there's no distinction between officers. You know, they all have the same level of responsibility. They can all do the same things. Any officer can, I believe, accept invites or invite people to the warband. They can build fortresses, and now they can all declare war. So, and add warband pins, I believe. So all four things any officer is able to do. I would much prefer to have, you know, diplomatic officers for administrative duties, military type officers for, you know, sieges and stuff like that, recruitment officers. Again, going back to, you know, like the World of Warcraft kind of example, if anyone that's played that, the kind of system that they use in there for the guilds and the officers, where, you know, you can set different positions and adjust the amount of responsibilities each officer has. I need to go get some water. It's getting harder for me to speak. But yeah, being able to customize the level of responsibility that officers have, I think is really helpful in things like this. Because personally, like I said, I'd love to have one officer basically just do recruitment, and they could just take care of invites, you know, arranging time zone information like that. Have a diplomatic officer that can talk to other fellowships and warbands about alliances and peace treaties and all that. Military officers to coordinate attacks and defenses. You know, they would be the ones in charge of fortresses at strategic locations. So I may need to just write down those ideas myself as to how I want to divvy up responsibility, and like I said, just make sure people understand that in their officer roles. But it would be nice if they would implement something in game to take care of that stuff for you. Hey Lou, welcome to the stream. Love back to London from Canada, my man. Yeah, because I think the announcements, I think the like Warband and Fellowship announcements, I think that was their attempt at a broadcast kind of thing. But as you said, I think, you know, if they were to come up with, if they were to have a message actually flash in the middle of the screen with the announcement so that people couldn't ignore them, I think that would be a bit more effective. Because right now, you're counting on people coming in here and actually checking the announcement tab or seeing the map and seeing that there's been a warband pin put down. Those are both very easy for people to just ignore. And I feel like that's what was happening on server 4. Because you can probably attest, Rhino. I mean, I was really trying to use the warband pins and the announcements to keep people up to date and get things planned and prepared. But we saw how long that fortress sat at Cirith Ungol without people using it. And I just had somebody today in the warband saying, yeah, I really wish there was a fortress near Mount Doom so that we could get prepared. It's like, there was a fortress sitting right in front of Cirith Ungol for weeks, waiting for people to get forts and stuff in Gorgoroth. Yeah, so like somewhere maybe, yeah, even if it were just like a pop-up, a little banner down here, right? Even just a little banner about the same size as this, popping out from underneath here, saying warband announcement type thing, and, you know, or broadcast, and the message scroll across. Something like that, something very simple, but just to make sure that it's right in front of their face. Exactly, for weeks. I didn't think I was exaggerating that. We built that thing so early and just left it there waiting. It's the same as the one in Southern Cond. I mean, we had built that thing getting ready to go down there, and then just didn't actually get into a position to use it. But yeah, that one at Cirith Ungol, it was there for quite a while. Yeah, exactly. I was a little bit salty when that person said that. Oh, we need a fortress here. God, that's why it was there. And that's something else. I don't know if, you know, because there's a fort limit of 10 forts. Yes, if you don't increase your fort limit with the battle lines thing here, then it can be hard to justify building a fort in here and just leaving it for 6 weeks, you know, or a month, or however long it's going to be before it gets used, just for defense. I mean, I think I've still got 2 or 3 forts sitting in front of the Black Gate on server 4 because I always increase battle lines and make sure I have extra forts at my disposal. But I always do that to make sure that, okay, these key areas that I know at some point are going to need to be defended, I want a fort there right away. That way, if at any point that area gets threatened, I can start moving commanders over. I don't need to wait 2 hours to build a fort. Because that's the worst thing in the world, is needing to get commanders somewhere immediately and realizing, uh-oh, I don't have a fort. Yeah, they're a weird thing. I mean, now I can understand how they would be useful for us in Mordor to be able to, move around. But they're not something that are actually beneficial to take in your home area like that early on. But I mean, I guess because they don't count toward your fort limit, there's really no harm in taking them either. Ouch. Yeah, no, I don't know. Somebody must have... I think somebody from Mordor really peed in Gondor's cornflakes, because they made a decision a few days ago, it seems, or like a week ago, that they were just marching in. They weren't having any more nonsense from Mordor, because they marched straight into Southern Con and right into Minas Morgul at the same time. There was no chance. We were so close to holding them off at Minas Morgul, but we were still too fractured and spread out at that point that we just weren't able to pull it off. Now I feel like now that I've seen what I have, I feel like this Southern Con and that path is such a trap for Mordor early on. I think the best idea for Mordor is to go up to Hills of Rune, try and take Hills of Rune, Ashen Plains, and Daggerland, or Daggerlad. And I think if Mordor can get those 3 areas secure, then I think they'd be free to try and focus on going south and going around for Horondor. But I don't really think the southern plan is a great one for Mordor to try and take early on. Yeah, that's a very valid point. When you're leaving an area, just take a free fort and then delete the unused ones. Yeah, I mean, we put up a hell of a fight at Minas Morgul, and again, that was, a handful of us. That wasn't even the full might that we could have had thrown at them if we had all of our actives. Yeah, they're one of those troops that they're very, what's the word I'm looking for? They're very alluring. People really want them, but are they really worth it? Do they if you take them before you're ready for them, are they really as impactful as they should be? And I think we saw that they weren't. They weren't ever used for siege damage, I don't think. They were only ever used to try and create a headache for Gondorian commanders. Yeah, I'd seen that what, you joined Witch, was it? The Witch Kings? With Loathing. Which, I will say, I mean, out of the 2 warbands that you likely would have been picking from, I think Witch was the better choice. Seems like Major Merc and Tom or Tome, just bleh. Archer, just in general, you mean? Because I would agree with that, yeah. I mean, both on the good and evil side. yeah, both on the good and evil side, people love their ranged units. Yeah, loathing seems good. I don't mind loathing. You know, we've had a few disagreements, but for the most part, he's been pretty level-headed and willing to, you know, work together. So, yeah, I do like loathing. Merc was really good early on in terms of teamwork, communication, and all that, but by the time we got up into Ashen Plains there, he got so one-track mind on Southern Khand and the Mumakils and going for Horondor. Like I said, he had even got me to the point where I gave you the go-ahead to help him out trying for Horondor at the end. Even though I didn't actually think it was a good idea. I felt like I had to give him some support because he had been supporting me. But I knew that it was a bad idea. I was really, really disappointed that he wouldn't join us up against the dwarves there. Because I do think if we had had our full strength, I do think we could have beat the dwarves at least out of Ashen Plains, and maybe, you know, given them a decent fight. But we would have needed everybody. But yeah, I mean, archers being used isn't a terrible surprise if you actually go in and look at all the numbers, because ranged units generally have higher damage numbers than anyone else. So if you're wanting to maximize your damage, then you're going to want to use ranged units. Like, let's just see here. Tier 3, yeah, 7 to 20, 5 to 33. They don't have any ranged units. 16 to 25 on these guys. 36 to 42 on the Bonites. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that was the problem a lot of us were facing at that point, is there was so many trying to... Yeah, the dwarves were really coordinated, that's for sure. And we were not. In our attempts up in Ashen Plains, our coordination was not great. Well, if we have anyone new joining the stream, welcome. Any questions, feel free to ask. We will try and cover anything as best we can. Yeah, I also agree with you there. Constantly had people just charging off in their own directions, wasting stamina. I mean, it's another one of those things that you kind of have to accept it with a bunch of new players. 'Cause sometimes it's just excitement. You know, you break into a new area and people just want to go start taking tiles. And sometimes they don't realize that we may need, you know, everybody to make a path to the target. because there was a case, like, I think it was, Ashen Plains, where we got over the crossing against Rohan, but then we were so stammed out by that point, you know, there was only a few of us pathing toward the keep, and everyone else started going north and south. And it was like, why are you going toward friggin' Daggerlad? We need to go for the keep. Yeah. Yeah, you let one person send a commander out, you know, 6 or 7 tiles, however many they've got, and then somebody else jumps onto that path at the end, and then once people start reaching their limits, that's when forts go down. And you get a line of forts, and then you start over again. And you can cover a region in, 4 hours that way. Alrighty, well, time flies when you're having fun, that's for sure. I did not even realize we've broken the 3-hour mark on the stream. Yes. Definitely writing this stuff down. These are all, notes for next time. This is the kind of stuff that gets organized early on, either on the Discord or just in the first few days. But exactly, once people start understanding those roles, then it becomes a little bit easier. That's the one thing with Isengard, why they did look so smooth, is everybody in Isengard already understands all of that stuff. And so, yeah, they had their pathers, they had their different leaders for different, for all the different aspects. But for some of the other factions, it's going to be a learning experience. And so the next time through, everyone should have a bit smoother ride. Alright, well, I think we're going to be calling the stream here. So I am going to mute this, switch back over to server 4. Just so that we pop back in by default here. Yes, I'm gonna make sure that I write that one down immediately, because that's true. Just like a team pathing. Yeah, like a team pathing video definitely will be a good one. Thank you, Rhino. Oh, how bad do things look now? Well, we still own Barracks. I mean, that's always a good thing. Yeah, I've got enough units, but if I were to just send them in to die, then I'd be waiting out the timers all over again. So I might as well just wait. See if there's any major drama I'm missing in chat. Yeah. Indeed, Grunt. What he said here is definitely true. I mean, Mordor only crumbled in like the last 2 weeks, and really the last week. So we did well. We can still be proud. I don't think anybody can say that Mordor was just an easy opponent to get through. We can be proud of the effort we put in. That is for sure. And on that note, yeah, so this is about how it looks, Rhino. They pushed through minus Morgul the other day, and they've just been making a steady path toward Barad-dûr. They're building their forts, and they're going to be going for it. Apparently, this is a birthday present to Estel from the rest of Gondor. So even if they accept Mordor as an ally against Isengard, I'm pretty sure we're still going to lose Barad-dûr. So that's just a thing that's going to happen. You know what? I am not letting that happen, though. Let's just go see who I can smack around over here. You go away, Blitzman. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, everyone's been wanting to see Isengard get theirs all server. And so, you know, having the opportunity to just have everybody push west, they might take it. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, when people are in a position of power, you know, they're going to be more dismissive of things like that. Okay. Oh, he's talking about it being a draw. Yes, that I definitely agree with. A true alliance system between factions, even just a temporary, even if it's just like, 72 hours or something, just like the war declarations where you can, declare war. Why can't you declare peace? And allowing, to me, if they were going to do it, the way it should be done is that if Gondor and Mordor were allied, well, all of a sudden, this tile would turn purple. And at that point, I would be able to march off of the tile. We'd both be able to attack the structures. We'd be able to move through each other's land without hassle. Yeah, it's funny because I was positive that the guard system that they brought in, I was certain that that's what that was for. Because I still don't understand the point of the guard function right now. You can only guard tiles either that you own or that your warband members own. But you could already put commanders on those tiles as defenders anyway. The only reason we needed the guard function to come in was for crossings. Because we started to find issues with one warband owning a crossing and another warband not being able to put commanders on it to defend it. They've alleviated that issue now by having the crossings be owned by the faction, but they could have solved it with the guard issue if the guard function would just allow you to guard any friendly adjacent tile, regardless of who owns it. If I'm here, why can I not guard this tile? It makes no sense to me. The guard function has just been confusing to me this entire time. It feels like they brought it in for one reason and then fixed that problem with a different solution. And now we just have this guard function that doesn't really do anything. Yes, it does its thing, but again, you could do that just by putting a commander on the tile. Well, we got rid of one commander, at least. Took a big chunk out of Aragorn there. And got rid of Boromir. Took a big chunk out of Aragorn. So he's not going to be taking this guy down right away. Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, it is weird like that. I don't know why they locked tiles to warband. Yeah, that's true. You can't really do a lot if you're not in a warband. I think that was partially intentional on their part, though. I do think they were trying to emphasize the teamwork in some way and emphasize the fact that, war bands are the way to go. And they did need a way to emphasize just how important they are. They just maybe went about it the wrong way. You can sustain the trolls if you don't use both. Like I said, when I was just focusing on mountain trolls, I was able to maintain mountain trolls pretty easy. And yeah, I agree that trolls, I think they could definitely do with smoothing out the tile system just a little bit more in terms of ownership and who can march on it and things like that. Because it does create issues. And I don't know if in their mind it's solving some kind of balance thing. Like maybe... Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with... I'm trying to think of like a scenario where maybe having that kind of free reign to tiles would be overpowered and broken. And maybe that's why they limited it, but... Nah, that I don't agree with, Rhino. Double trolls is extravagant. You don't need double trolls. One or the other is fine. If you use mountain trolls with reapers, they put out just as much damage as ravagers, and if you use ravagers without reapers, you don't need mountain trolls. Because I would agree that it's pretty much impossible to maintain both types of trolls. Like you said, especially if you're trying to equip multiple commanders with both kinds of trolls. Because even now that I am recruiting ravagers a bit, I hardly ever, I think today was the only time I was putting ravagers on, or ravagers and mountain trolls on one commander. I usually try and make sure I split them. Ravagers on one, mountain trolls on another. Well, I mean, I've got a lot of reports that say otherwise. Like I said, Reapers are definitely huge. If it worked for you, then again, yeah, as I always say to people, whatever works for you personally is the plan to go for. But yeah, if you're going to be trying to run that kind of army, then you're going to need to go even more out of your way to especially get extra grain. You know, because that's just the major hit with them is the amount of grain that they take. They don't take a whole lot of iron or wood, but man, they will drain your friggin' food so fast. And then just the time it takes. Yeah, and so, you know, when you find what does work for you, it's hard to switch out because, you know, it's working. So, but, oh, yeah. That's been the only thing that's made me start questioning whether I want to go Mordor come live, is because, you know, it is harder to maintain. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You definitely got to play the market game in order to make use. Like I said, that's why my big thing was, you know, I would either be focusing on conscripting an army or focusing on building upgrades. That way, if I was focusing on my army, well, then every time I would just go into the market, barter off all my stone into grain, conscript whatever I wanted to conscript, and then I would just barter back whatever grain I had left into stone and pop off a couple upgrades. Well, it's, you know, I have been considering Angmar more and more, Rhino, just because I think the Fallen is going to be a really good unit. So, if you do have interest in Angmar, we might be able to set that up. I think the War Chariot for Rune is going to be a really good T4 unit as well. I'm just so disappointed with the base units for Rune. The friggin' Spearmen and the Dragoons. I'm just not happy with them at all. Rune's horse? What, you like the Dragoons? Yeah, I understand what you're saying there. Like they're set up that they can take the damage from ranged units, but I just go with snipers over the Dragoons for that. Snipers are way better against ranged units than these guys. Ooh. Yeah, they do a lot more damage than the snipers. And I guess really, yeah, no, the snipers are more resilient to the melee units than these guys are. But yeah, these guys do put out a lot more damage, and they give you the faster marches. They probably have a higher defense too. I just never, yeah, it was just one of those ones I never found a fit for them in my compositions. But if you've got reports that, you know, that show their benefit, I mean, hey, you were the one that got me onto how good alchemists truly are, so I definitely have faith that if you say they're good, then they have their use. Nice. All right, yeah. Okay, then maybe Dragoons don't need the rework that, maybe the Dragoons don't need the rework that I assumed that they do. I still agree with you though that, was Angmar there? They do need their own mounted unit here. I don't think they should be using, I really don't think they should be using the same mounted units as Mordor, but that might be the balance for, like I said, the good faction that does the same thing, where I think it's Rohan and Gondor both have Dunedains. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right too. That is right too. Snipers take less damage from ranged or take less damage from melee and do more damage to ranged. The Dragoons take less damage from ranged. Yeah, it's funny. I had a report earlier that I even said that, where I had a bunch of Dragoons. I don't know if I can find it here, but I had a decent number of, or not Dragoons, of Wargs come up against, yeah, it was this one here. You know, 780 Wargs. Took out, what, 500 of these guys? Like, I think the problem is they don't prioritize mounted units. I honestly think that's all these guys would need to be fixed, is that this ability here needs to say prioritize mounted units. Because I'm wondering if that's the issue that they face, is that they get into a fight, and sure, they're going to do bonus damage against the mounted units if they attack them. But if they're not attacking mounted units, then what the hell's the point? And yeah, I honestly think all they need is to prioritize mounted units. If they were to do that, and that bonus damage was guaranteed, basically, I think they'd be a lot more effective. Alrighty. Well, I was gonna call this like 15 minutes ago. We've gotten into a conversation, had a good chat. I truly want to say, Rhino, thank you very, very much for jumping into the stream today so we could have a chat. Like I said, there were a few things that I had been getting worried about, so it's good to know that we're still on the same page and that you're still doing all right. I hope things get easier for you in your personal life. I hope your stress lessens for you, even if T2 and 3 switched. Even if T2 and T3 wargs switched. What? Why, are the T2 wargs better? Oh, yeah. Oh my god, yeah, these guys actually prioritize. Oh. Wow. Yeah, that's an interesting thought right there, Rhino. But thank you very much for any and all who have joined us today. I hope we have been able to clear some things up as always. If so, please be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next ones. And until next time, as always, good luck on the battlefield.